Hello, today I'm going to design the model using the Model Mania 2001 and I'm using the 3DEXPERIENCE xDesign. Here I have the drawing of the Model Mania 2001, and look at the drawing. I think that we miss one dimension. That's the dimension. I think the thickness of the rib, we assume it's going to be 12 because it's the same thickness of the back plate, the back side. And the most important here is the profile of the rib in the middle. So that two dimension 146 and 64 is important because it determines the center of the hole in the middle or the center of the cylindrical boss. So we gotta make sure that that point, everything will start from that point. That's how we will build the profile of the back plate. Yeah, that's how we get the profile of the back plate. So it all starts from that point, which is the center of the top face of the cylindrical boss, or the center of the hole. So let's start with xDesign. So I start with a new component. I name the components and I select the Model Mania as the 3D space where I'm gonna save the model. Okay, we start with the rectangle on the YOZ plane, and that rectangle will be 96 by 64. You see that it's very similar to SOLIDWORKS actually when you use it. So we'll add the dimension 96 and then 64, and I will center that rectangle. I make sure the origin is in the middle point of that edge. So now the sketch is turned black instead of blue because it's fully defined. Now going to the features, I'm going to select the extrude, and we're gonna extrude with a thickness of 20, a height of 20. Perfect. Now I'm going to have like a construction line. I will create like a construction rectangle with the dimension 146 and 64. I change the construction line and select the first point of the rectangle and the other diagonal point of the rectangle, and put the dimension 146 and 64. The next, I'm gonna build this axis, the axis of the hole or the cylindrical extrusion. So that axis is 45 degree to the horizontal line, and the length of that axis would be 32, but 32 plus the thickness of the plate would be 12. (32) plus 12, that will be 44. So we're gonna build the profile based on this construction line. So I get one line, and then have another line, and I want to make that endpoint connect to that line coincidence, and I will measure from that point to the side to the endpoint, which be the 64 diameter, so it will be 32. Okay. Now, we also make sure this and this are perpendicular. And yes, the two lines turn black because it's now fully defined. We just need to add the radius of 15. And we almost done with the profile. I need to create a parallel of 12. I don't want bidirectional, we just want one side. Okay, you can see that it coloring the profile because it recognizes that this profile is now completely closed. So you can create an extrusion from this profile because it's closed. So the thickness of this extrusion will be 64. I choose the mid-plane option. And now we need to round the edges. So I use the full round features, and I need to select the three face. If I'm not wrong, in SOLIDWORKS 2001, we didn't have that full round fillet yet. So now I'm using that face to create the cylindrical boss and the hole. So I create the circle, the first circle of 52, and then the second circle of 32 will be the hole. I put the dimension. Yep, it's 52 and 32. Right, exit the sketch. To create the extrusion, I will probably need only the outside circle. It's the 32. And after we complete the command, the sketch is invisible, so I make it visible again. So I can select the inner circle and use it as a whole. Now I make it invisible again. So pretty much done. Now we need to build the profile of the rib. So before this, I'm going to save the part first and go to the sketch. we need to extract some profile. So I turn this profile as the part of the sketch because I need to create the parallel of this. A parallel of 26. But you will see that I will not need all of the 3 elements of the sketch of this parallel. I probably need only 2 of them, so I'm gonna remove 1. Okay, so this arc is going to not necessarily exact parallel of the other arc in the middle, but I make sure that the radius of this arc is a correct value. So the parallel is 26, and this radius is going to be 26 plus 15. Yep, it's 41. So the other arc that I need to build is a 55 millimeter arc. So it's go from that point to that corner. Radius is 55, and we have 2 more conditions. So the first one is we're gonna set these 2 arcs tangent to each other, and make sure this and this is also tangent. Excellent. So the sketch is done. Now I'm going to create, using this line to create the rib. Okay, well, select the first part of the, oh, okay. I need to change to parallel to the sketch, but oh yeah, we missed the other part. So let's select it again. Yep. And the thickness of this rib is 12. Two more features. So we need to create the hole. So these 2 holes is a counterbore M6. Their distance to each other is 60, but and the 2 sides of the middle plane. So I can use the symmetrical. First, I select the face to start the sketch, 1 point, and then we're going to create a center line. I'm going to mirror these 2, and I set the dimension of these 2 is going to be 60, and I reposition horizontally the center with one side of the edge will be 32 is the middle of yes, it's right half of the 64. Now I have these 2 points, then I can go to the hole feature. And the hole features, we select the M6, and it's a counterbore, and yeah, perfect. It's a hex bowl. So the placement we're going to select these 2 points. Okay, now the last features I have is a fillet of 2 millimeters around all the sharp edges. So I will do step by step. First of all, we gotta do the fillet of the rib first. And the bottom fillet of that rib. The side of the back plate. And now we gotta fillet the part that is connect to the base. And it's done. Voila. It's easy, very easy to use xDesign. I just switch off all the other display and I change the type of display that I want to save along with the model. So that model we're gonna save.